All right, let's make sure you guys can hear me. Looks like you guys can. All right, we'll get going here in a minute. Give people a little bit of time to clean up some stuff. And to I see Boris is here. Good, good, good. All right, we'll get going here in a second. What I'm doing is I'm in my home lab here, and I'm editing a deploy tool that I have. All of this is going to get probably not used, so we don't need any. Oh, do we need any of that? Nope. Not going to use any of that. And we're instead going to do roles. Don't need tasks for this. And then we're going to create the role that we want to use as we go. So cd to roles. And we're going to call this Ansible Galaxy init. Let's see, what type of, what do we want to call this role? Oh, Dead, and you're about to go offline? Yeah, this is my normal time. Well, I'm a little earlier than normal on my Fridays. We don't work very hard on Fridays around here, guys. We just kind of hang out. We're writing a tool for my stigging, so because I don't have this exact. So I'm doing an older version of Red Hat for a customer, and I have all my Red Hat 9 stuff, but I don't have all my Red Hat 8 stuff. So I'm writing this in case I need this tool. I don't know if I'm going to need it. That's why I'm doing it on my own time. And then if I don't need it for work, then I won't use it for work. But if I do need it, then I'll have it. So what do I want to call this? Hold on. Let's just call this. Let's go find the tool real quick. Hold on, because I always gotta go look up the tool real quick. It's it should be this guy right here. We're only gonna download it once, and then we'll have it. What is he called? SCC. Yeah. So we're gonna need SCC for rel 8 right here from December 3rd. That'll be fine. And this one is also from December 3rd. Hold on. What's the difference between these two? We don't need the Arch. We need the x86-64. So that's good. We're going to go ahead and copy this link address. And then we're going to come back over here to our system. And we're going to call this, we'll just call this Stig report. That's fine. So it's going to generate the Stig report. And then in here, we're going to have files. And in files, we're going to do a wget dash. We'll do wget on that with a dash O, dash capital O on. We'll call it the same name right here as that. Perfect. And so we're downloading that and we're dropping it off to a file right here. How have I been? I'm good. I'm just I'm on my 4th day of I did jujitsu every morning, and even though I'm just sitting here perfectly fine, it is very hard to stand up. I am very sore, and I won't train tomorrow, but I'm going to try to train Sunday, and then I'll do all next week as well. So I'm trying to get back to like 5 or 6 times a week, which is pretty ambitious. Okay, let's check this file out. I've never, I haven't extracted this one in a while, so let's do unzip in this case on SCC, and let's see what files are in there, just so we see them. Okay, and then it'll make a file called, so we'll cd to SCC, and then in there we'll have the RPM that's going to be installed on the system for rel 8 checks. Now, I probably can just get away with, if I copy my SCC, this file here, I could probably just get away with, oh, whoops, I moved it up too far. Move it down into files. Really, I probably can get away with this, and then I can get rid of that. But let's just test real quick on one of our nodes. So we're going to scp scc dash this dot rel over to, let's just say, Rocky 10. Oh, you guys gotta stop me. You guys gotta stop me sometimes. We're gonna install it. And let's just make sure that it does all the things that we expect it to. Dead, and I have those scripts if you want them. Dead, and if you need, hold on. I've written all the node exporter and Prometheus stuff. If you want it, if you just want to take it and modify what I've already written, it's all yours. It's up here. Hold on. Go to just node exporter, and then tell you exactly where it is. I've written this one and posted this one many times over the years. It's all note stuff. Should just be in this channel. Oh, hold on. Maybe it hasn't been up here in a while. Yeah, this one. All right. So if you need it, it's right here. So just look for, I'd say probably node exporter. Well, no, it's good. Look, it's perfect. I think it's good to write stuff yourself too. Also, you could alternatively make mine better and then post it back up. But yeah, this is like from 1/31/2023. So if you need it, it's that far back. But just real quick, just so you can see, this is the process I used. I kicked over. I made a user node exporter because we want it to run as a non-normal process or non-root process. Then I copied over the executable because the executable is just extracted and then can go anywhere. Copied over a service file, so the service file existed, and then I started the service. Right, reload the daemon, let it through the firewall on port 9100, and then this is the magic. This is where the money was made, if you will. On only the Prometheus node, which was here, we created a file for each node that it went to, and that file is the actual scrape config file. And then inside of the Prometheus node, you just needed to make sure that you would scrape anything that was in the Etsy Prometheus item.json name. So if you guys have ever seen that before. And then we just restarted Prometheus. Although we found out later you didn't need to kill Prometheus for this to work. And I think with this, I also had the other parts to it as well. That's old stuff. But anyways, there's the Ansible playbook if you need it. All right. So good. Hopefully, have you used Evaluate Stig? I've never used Evaluate Stig. No, is that a good tool? I haven't ever used it, but I may end up using this one here that I just recently found out about. Let me pull this up. Oh, fucking A. PDF little thing stuck in my way. That's super annoying. It's like, get out of here, PDFs. Let me see. There is GitHub for what's the one GitHub that we needed? It was the for Stig. It was called Ansible Lockdown. So Ansible Lockdown seems interesting as far as you can do Stig compliant stuff, and I might end up using this inside of this system and making this down to my base testing. Yeah, I'm working a little bit, but this is more like fun. I'm kind of doing something that might be used for work. It just depends. Let's get this out of the way. Let's go back here. All right, so we did that. We installed, oh, opt.scc, which I think it was technically already out there on these nodes. So now what I need to do is I need to figure out how to use cscc, the command, on each node. I've never used, I mean, I've used the command line, but it drops you into an interactive prompt. So let's see if we could just do cscc with a help. SCC lib 64 engines. Okay, well, that's weird. Opt SCC. I don't know what they're... Launcher version signature not in there, huh? Well... let's just reinstall it real quick. I'm curious if it's going to drop that signature in there and I'll be able to do it. Okay. That's weird. I've never seen that different name. I wonder if that's from a newer build. We'll do it this way. We'll let it write the whole thing. Now that is a shared opt directory, so normally that's not, I guess this isn't normally the way I would do this in a system, but I'm okay with it for the testing portion of this. I'm fine with it. That's how we're gonna do it for now. Yeah, the Ansible lockdown thing seems interesting. We could play with it in the lab here, but we would do it against the chroot jail of the cluster node. So we might mess with that, but let's do this real quick first. Let's get this part going. All right. All right. This is gonna work, but then I want to stop it. I don't want to actually run it out of here. Also, it's not going to work because it's for rel 8, and this is a rel 9 box. So we're going to have to change that. Yeah, so you still have this wants to use Oracle or rel 8, but I'm on a 9 box. So we gotta boot one of our machines over to really test this. Yeah, it doesn't need to do any of these. It will want to do rel 8 when we get it set the way that we want to. Hey, Quartz One, how's it going? Let's let it go real quick. I know you said in your server, but when you're actually working, are you a PowerShell super? I mean, I can use PowerShell where my teeth. I don't really use it. I haven't done anything with PowerShell professionally in probably, I don't know, over 3 years. But I mean, I can use it if it's the tool I need to use. Sure. I just don't. I don't go out of my way to advertise it. Like it's not on my resume or anything. There's a lot of things that I know how to do that I don't have on my resume, and I don't, advertise to people. That people only know I know how to do them if they've ever caught me doing them, like if they've worked with me or something. All right, come on. All right, so. Super annoying when they put a bunch of stuff in uppercase like that. Huh. So we didn't get anything because nothing was run against. Well, that makes sense because we've got the wrong node. So let's get out of here. Let's go put let's go put our, let's take 19. We'll take 9. Ports 1. No, the Linux course is going to relaunch on March 22nd. No, we're gonna relaunch it for people that want to come do the Linux sysadmin course again. It's gonna start on the 22nd, which is a Saturday of March, and that gives people a little time to decompress and think about starting over. The course was challenging for people. I think we only had, 8 or 9 people finish it. What I would consider finish it. I think almost everybody else kind of, life gets in the way and other stuff happens, and 8 to 10 hours a week worth of work starts to really pile up for people, and then I think a lot of people just lost the thread on it. So we're gonna give another shot, right? yeah. So I'm trying to give you guys like a shot to come do it if you want, and kind of make it fun for people that are interested. There's a meeting on tomorrow on Saturday. And the guys that are doing that are the ones that are building like the little course book for it. So we're going to have a course book out on GitHub that you can just get everything for the course all the way down. And then we're still going to do our Saturday normal meetings all the way up until that point. So I only have one of those set right now. But so there's 2 events tomorrow for people that want to come and hang out. And right, the events in Discord are always free. We don't charge you nothing for them. You can just hang out if you want to. Who's calling me from Georgia? Nobody important, that's for sure. All right. So you guys can join the Discord if you want. Let's go change one of these. And here's how we're going to change a container. We're just going to set our Rocky 19 box over to. So you guys might notice that my keyboard's extra clicky today. It's because I bought a new one finally. Like a little, it's not a super expensive little mechanical one. I forget which one of these is which, so we're going to go with Werewolf, Rocky, Linux. Do I want 8.8? 8.8, yeah, that's fine. We want everything to do with Rocky 19. He's set to that. We're going to rebuild his overlay, and then let's reboot him, and then watch him come back up. Rocky 19. Let's watch him at the console, see him come back up, make sure everything's working for him, and then we'll continue on. Because they do need to have them back on. Oh, what are they going to use? 8.10, I think. Rocky, or they're going to use RHEL. But if I can get it working on Rocky, it'll work in RHEL. Oh, is there a? Let me check. I gotta check this other thing about this tool because I don't know this behavior. I see that they have a 6, but do they have a, sorry, an 8? But do they have that? Where the heck is this? Oh, I don't want that either. Excuse me. I thought they had one of these set up. Just go to lockdown. I thought they just had one for reports. Okay. Yes. We're not doing CS. Not doing that. We're just doing Stig. We're doing Stig Linux. So this is actually what I was kind of curious about. They'll remediate them, sure, but will they also give me a Stig report? And then how will the Stig report come out? Excuse me. Oh, that'll be interesting. Uh-oh. Alright, 8.8 doesn't want to boot. Oh, I gotta go fix his... Nope. Not gonna do that right now. Let's go check this other one then. This is one that I thought that I had built, but I could be wrong. I could be wrong on all this. Okay. So this container's already changed to Rocky 8, meaning I might have to go fix that. Oh, how's it going, Johnny, man? We're not working too hard. We're just What? We don't have a good environment to build this in, which is fine. It's not that big a deal. I just wanted to. I mean, I could just build it against a node. I don't have to build it. I don't have to do anything fancy like this where I was going to write out the playbook. I just wanted to write out the playbook so I could hit all the nodes that I wanted. I don't know why that would. I wouldn't say matter. I just don't know why it. Let's make sure his overlay is good. Yep. If we could pull the image and the provisioner. Yeah, alright. He's got something wrong with him. That makes sense. I guess I hadn't really checked if I had gotten Rocky 8 starting before. Let me go look real quick here. Rocky official images. You want that, but you want werewolf. That's also official from them. We don't want the sent to us alternative because I want it to be as close to the other stuff, huh? That shouldn't be, none of that should be too much of a problem. We could do all that if we really needed to, but I'd prefer not to do that. Let's see if anything that'll do that for me. Also, I think I'm falling asleep. Must have had a long day of wrestling and working on Linux stuff today. Alright, I don't see what I want here. Let's go to image management. Fine with all this. I'm looking to see if they have a very specific version. So I should be able to like image import if I've downloaded. Let's go see what we got on it. I haven't been on this box for this in a long time. Oh, Podman. Image list. Podman PS. Podman image. What is it? List image. Image. Somebody help me out here. I should know this. Image. There it is. Okay, so here's the ones I've downloaded before. Rocky Linux 9. Alright. So I've never pulled down the 810, which is what I'm going to be using for this. So oh man, guys, I'm spacing out. I'm spacing out big time. Okay, so what am I trying to do here? I'm trying to get this. Let me see if I can pull down. I should just be able to do Podman save and get this version right here. Although I could have sworn I had this one, but we'll see. And we can save that into, oh, where am I at here? CD back to root. There's ones these have already brought down. Sorry, I do have some of these brought down. Yeah, I swear I've gotten this before, but in the form of this 8.8 right here. So What do you think about this? If I already have it, so I do have my image in there. Well, I have the one kernel. Kernels are only there if you want to override the image. What's in the container? So here's my chroot environments. If I want to go into any of them and make sure that they're bootable. So in this case, we're going to go into this guy. Container exec. Okay, so we're in there. And let's just see. Here's Rocky 810. Let's exit real quick for fun. And we're going to go check this other guy. And in that one, let's go check what this guy is. We're looking at the system. I haven't been in here in a while. I haven't done these, not in my system. I've done these in other systems, but not in my system. So 8.8, I'm going to be fixing 8.10. So I need a bootable version of 8.10. I'm going to have to rebuild the... So there will be something, yeah. I'm falling out over here. I don't know if I'm just crashing or what. End of a long day. I'm gonna like close my eyes and fall asleep. Bash. That's correct. This will be Rocky 8. Just Rocky 8. Rocky dash 8. Okay. This is 8.9. So that's further. Let's see if they have, for fun, let's see if we just have a, let's exit that. Let's see if there's just a, let's see if we can just copy, if they have over here. We'll just see if we can get in with 8.10 and see if we can pull a version 8.10. 8.10. How it would be. Dash 8 and 8.8. Let's see if there's an 8.10. Of course, I use my slow system for this. I mean, there's no import. So it's that same thing, but container import? That seems weird. Oh. So I could pass those in as environmental variables, and then I don't... That seems weird that I'd have to do... Well, alright, whatever. Just do this. I guess I don't really need that one. Don't need the arguments if you already got on the command line. Alright, let's see. What? Better token valid status code from that. Alright, fuck it, we'll just set that to true. Oh. Yeah, I guess I don't know where they want me to find these anymore. Container. Yeah, this has got to be different documentations because I don't have a WWCTL image. So, I don't know if this is for an older version of this or what. I do not have image import. I guess I could just pull one down like they show in that other one and then go from there. If I know where it is, I can pull it down. Let's see, how much space do I have? Plenty of space. Let's see if this thing exists. Maybe we don't need Docker part. Yeah, I don't know. I'd have to find where they're hosting that. Looks like it's off of Docker. Also, I don't know why my system's different than theirs. Alright. Well, we won't worry about that for right now, I guess. But the first part, we can at least get this part written. Alright, so the question is, what do we want to do? I think the answer... really call that gather ports. Oh, that was a different one. All right, we're doing roles. So cd down into roles, files. Do we have the file? Yep. All right. Tasks. Main, and the first task will be name copy over the SCC installer for rel 8, right? Copies the name of our module, and source is local, and that's going to be our file SCC. So we should be able to say files that. Technically, I think it'll find it either way because that's one of the paths it looks, but that's fine. Destination will be opt, and then SCC. Now, not all systems are going to have opt already set, so we got to add that. Make sure that opt SCC exists on system. And that's going to be file. And then if you can't remember how the file module works, you just come over here. You say Ansible file module. And you just go look in here. And you say, it's very interesting. We need to make it a directory. We need to make sure that it's there. And where's the directory? Create a directory if it does not exist. So it's got to have path. Etsy Etsy, this will be opt SCC. And then state will be directory. And we actually don't care, but the mode, we can be explicit and say 0755. That's perfectly fine for an executable like that. All right. And then real quick, just for fun, we could say I'm gonna more hosts real quick, and I'm going to, this is only gonna hit 5 of them. 5 of them it'll be fine. Let's go with okay. Survey host, all that. So now all we need to do is say Ansible playbook -i hosts Stig report, and then extra vars is going to be equal to survey hosts, and that's servers. Now you might say, Scott, why did you just explicitly take servers out of there so that you could just put it back in as an extra var? Well, I do that so you can't run my playbooks if you don't know what you're doing, and there's an added version. There's like an added bit of protection with that. Lord Processor said, what are we doing today? A little bit of this, a little bit of that. We're kind of cleaning up the home lab. We're kind of running some stuff. This should run. It'll only work on one. Actually, it won't. It'll just be okay on all of them, I think, because they all have. I spelled something wrong. I didn't even put it in there, guys. I mean, how can it run the playbook? You know, how can it run the play if you don't tell it the roles to inherit? So now it's going to inherit the roles. Also, you guys might notice my keyboard's a little more cleckier than normal. I got a new keyboard. All right, so this should go run. It'll see that it's there because it's going to be there, and then it'll copy it over. But it'll actually have a problem with this on the nodes because it's trying to copy to the same file from 4 different nodes. So I'm actually okay with this just sitting there. Okay, so that's there. This will be fine on nodes where opt isn't shared. We're just sharing opt on these boxes. All right, let me think about this. So that's good. And then we would just need to do the SCC and then pull the report back. So we'll run the CSCC, which is the command line SCC tool. It'll only work on a RHEL 8 box, so I'm going to have to probably go build one real quick if I want to test this. And because all of mine are 9, and I was having a hard time getting an 8 version. And then we'll go from there. Alternatively, though, I am curious. This Ansible lockdown, I don't think this is going to work now that I think about it, because their audit right here looks like it's only going to give you, what I'm reading here, their audit is only going to give you like pass or failed, but it's not going to give it out in the format. Yeah, see, that's not going to give that out in the format that you want. That's not a format that can be exported out of there. You need it in the either the .ckl, which is the checklist, or there's a .xm, it's like XMLRP or something, and that's the one that we use for pulling Stigs out of a system and then building our checklist from. It's some kind of XML. I am curious. I mean, it's got all the good checks in there. Yep. All right. That's an interesting thing, guys. I have not seen this nomenclature inside of Ansible before. I don't know if that's in a newer version of Ansible. I have never seen them do this kind of thing before. Never seen it. Oh yeah, I mean that's all new to me right there. I don't know if any of you guys have seen that, but I've not seen this done in Ansible before. That's an interesting little set of code snippets. Package, see if this package is installed. I mean, these could be, are these, oh, this is part of the audit, I guess. I see. Yeah, this is part of the audit, isn't it? But why is it YAML then? I mean, it could very well be. It says it's all YAML here. This is an audit, so you would think there'd be a template file somewhere. Maybe it's up in their docs. Run.audit or run.ps currently enabled playbooks. I just want to see how it's going to come up. How we can download. Glass.yaml. I may just go back to, instead of using this OpenSCAP tool, I may just, or SCC tool, I might go back to using OpenSCAP, because that's how I used to do this. I would run them all with OpenSCAP, and OpenSCAP will always give you the XML output that you need, whatever that format is. It's XML something, some type of XML under the hood. Let me think about that. I have to go dust off some notes that I have on that. Not sure exactly where I have that. If I do, we could keep going the SCC route. I just I'm not 100% sure. what it'll look like when it's all done. We probably won't use this, although we might use the remediate part of this. We might. Or we could just stick with OpenSCAP. Alright. Changes music. Music a little too slow. A little too slow. We need something a little faster. Let's do... Go like some rock music. Alright, back. What bugs me, the SCC thing. So all our stuff worked. Let me go look something up real quick here, guys. Hold on. I go look at it in a totally different browser window because I don't even have. Sorry guys, I'm yawning. Let me look up OpenSCAP. I wonder if these packages are available anywhere. So let's go take one of these nodes here. These nodes are really doing, some of these nodes aren't doing anything anyways. And let's see if we could put on them, do we have Rocky 810? Ah, we do have Rocky 810. Alright, so let's just go here. Let's make a new VM real quick. And we'll say it's close enough to Red Hat Linux 8. We'll call this Rocky 8 10. Yeah, that's fine. We're going to give him a ISO of Rocky 810, and we're going to go ahead and boot him. He can be on this box, sure. We're going to give him 4 cores and 8 gigs of RAM. That's fine. He can be a little beefier box for our amusement. Don't have any GPUs to give him. We can give him 30 gigs, maybe even 40 gigs of space. That's fine. Give him all the NIC, and then we'll let him install. So we need to plan an IP address for him. So let's just give him something that's outside of any of our other node range. Let's see. Is anybody using? Give him that. Name Rocky 8. Perfect. All right. So we're gonna build this box real quick. That wasn't really my plan for today, but we'll make it work. And then we're gonna decide, do we want to, we could push Ansible to them and do it that way. We can give that a try the way we were doing with SCC tool, since we already have that framework up. We can try with the OpenSCAP tool just to see. We also could build a framework around that. Shouldn't be too hard to spin that up. But just for now, let's get this box going. All right, we're gonna skip that. Install them. 810. Go through a normal install on this guy. How's it going, Viavana? Hopefully this stuff's useful to you. We are not working too hard today, right? Fridays are kind of the chill days after the long week. I have college stuff tomorrow. I did all my grading today, so, well, I got a little bit more grading to do. I did most of my grading, let's say. And then I'm just kind of working on something for work. This is, let's put it this way. This is the fun stuff that I have to do for work, but I'm doing it in my home lab just in case. I'm not 100% sure I'm going to need this, but I'm building it out in the home lab just in case. And then I found out that I'm going to give at least 2 more trainings in the next 3 months. So I'm going to be giving training to some of our customers on these same systems that we're building out. So I'm going to show them how to build them. And then mostly the Rocky stuff, the werewolf stuff that I do. I'm going to show people how to do that. And then aside from that, yeah, I'm not working too hard right now. Just kind of hanging out. So seeing how this build process works. I mean, I know what it should look like, but let's see. And again, I tell you guys, we normally only build a box. If we are going to build a box like this, we're normally only going to build it one time like this. Oh, Anaconda failed. Anaconda did not fail. Thought Anaconda failed right there. Let's see. That looked like an Anaconda failure to me. Let's see if he comes back up the second boot. Anyways, once we get a box built, we don't keep. Oh, there it is. All right, it's up. We don't keep building them this way. We then use them as templates to deploy things, or we will kickstart. Sometimes we can go get a kickstart file from all this and then use that. Let's make sure that we have our. That's fine. We don't need any of that. Installation destination. Put it on there. Make sure we have at least one disk. Let's go look at our. That's fine. We can custom carve this guy up if we want to. Where's that at? When we say done here, it should pop up and ask us to carve it. Yeah. So we can carve it automatically. We could click here to create them automatically if we want. We can also, what I would do is reset these all, right? Yeah, reset selections back to even. And say that maybe I want to either do standard. I definitely want LVM. And I actually, even before I do this, I'm going to go ahead and say done real quick. Back out of there. Yep, that's fine. Done. Do done twice and it'll take us out of there. And we're going to cancel. Just, oh shit. All right, fuck it. We'll accept the changes. We're going to come back in and change that in a little bit though. We can set a security policy and actually set these as we build the server if we want. So we could do a Ansible Stig for rel 8 if we wanted to, and select that as the profile, and then it'll give us the information about how this kind of looks. I'm not really so big of on that, but let's do that. Let's go back over here to installation directory now, and then let's say that we want to custom, sure, and now we're gonna say create them automatically. And it's not making them all the way that we kind of need. So we would actually have to go and look at the Stig standard and build them out. That's a hassle. We're not going to do that right now. So we're just we'll leave it like that. That looks like fine capacity for us. We'll accept the changes. It'll write to the disk when it's time. Let's give a root password. Don't care in the home lab so much. Passwords don't match. There we go. It's good enough. Date and time, Phoenix. Oh, done. We could also alternatively set this to UTC if we really wanted to, right? We should be able to go... Where's it at? Set to UTC here? No. Typically, we're just going to set our servers all to UTC. It just makes life easier. But we'll leave it as Arizona Phoenix for me for now. No user created, don't care. Don't care, don't care. Network and host name, we can give him his network and host name now if we want. And that'll change the way that he boots up. We'll go ahead to here and then IPv4. And we will add, he's going to be manual. We're going to add an address of 192.1. I hate when that happens. Netmask is /24, perfect, and gateway is 192.168.11.1. Okay. DNS, if I care, is 192.168.11.1 and 8.8.8.8. Those will be the two that we give them. All right, not super interesting, but very important. We shouldn't be having any problem downloading the package metadata since it's on the local system. You see, here's these problems, so we can unselect the profile. We can turn that back off and say done. All right, that'll come up here in a second. Solo hacker, hopefully this stuff's useful to you. We are, where are we at here? Shouldn't have any problems with base repository because it's local. It's a local machine. I don't want to change any repository. I don't want to do any of that. It's a really weird way to fail there. Also, did not take our network. Okay, yeah, there we go. Done. Once the network's up, it's possible once the network's up that it can do all the things it needs. Bread said Etsy UTC. I think, yeah, that might be right. It's setting up a source. So hacker. Oh, we're just we're building some stuff in the home lab here today. We're not working too hard. We never work too hard on Fridays. We just kind of hang out. It's the end of the work week for me, except I have some college stuff to do tomorrow, so it's not exactly the end of the work week for me, but it's pretty close. We do date night, me and the wife, so she'll be home, what, I don't know, hour or so. Well, she gets off, like, right now, but I think she was going to go to the store on the way home, and then we'll hang out. We don't really have anything to watch right now. Like, we don't have any series we're going through, so we're just kind of hanging out. Gremlin, you said, do I use VirtualBox sometimes when I think about the changes to unattended installs by default? No, I have Oracle VirtualBox on my server to show people how to set stuff up. Gremlin, but I don't strictly speaking use it because I like to keep all of my processing as off in my lab environment. I don't do anything on this machine here, right? If that kind of makes sense. Like I keep all that stuff out in the lab, and then this machine here can be gaming and productivity and, you know, running my college stuff and other stuff like that. So yeah, I have no problem. I mean, use any tool you guys want. I just, I don't use stuff local to my machine. This stuff's all out on my physical machines in the lab in the little half rack behind me. I don't do, man, this thing is definitely just a hosed up install boot ISO. I may need to get a new one. I'm not super happy with this. The amount of time that this is taking. I shouldn't have to pick a mirror. It should just be local. It should be local disk. I don't need any of this. Yeah, I shouldn't have to do any of this. Installation storage should just be my own system. Can we uncheck the box? That's a strange. That's a super strange thing to run into. And here's what we'll do. We'll just kill it. Yeah, I mean, you guys can use anything you want in your labs. You know, I even show you guys how to get out on Killer Coda. I think that's one of the best things around if you don't want to build your own lab out. But all right, we're gonna hard reset this thing. This is super weird that it's not just seeing its own disk as the installer. If I don't have a Rel 8 box anywhere in the environment that I could use in lieu of this. I just want to install it. That's all I want to do. We're going 179 for him. Yeah. All right. What's our time at? We're just over an hour. Let's check on Ranger. How's Ranger doing? We haven't checked on Ranger in a while. In fact, I'll put some. How's Ranger doing? He's licking his bed. Ranger, don't be embarrassing, Ranger. There's our user group. Let's see, how's our security, and then our logs. Logs. Lots of people trying to log in and give us trouble. Security, lots of people getting themselves locked out forever. Lab uptime is fine. Servers are up. Ranger's doing good. All right. I'm going to take a quick break. I'll go ahead and drop myself into... where are we at here? Turn off my... Actually, I can just turn off studio mode while I do that. And I will add my... hourglass. So if anybody needs to go run and take a break or whatever, feel free to do it. Take a break and check on Ranger. So get a nap. I'm gonna hang out for a little bit. I'll be around. I'm not leaving just yet. But I will take a little bit of break, walk away. You guys check on Ranger Dog, check on the other stuff in the lab. And yeah, we gotta figure out what we're gonna do about these Rocky 8. I gotta figure out a way to spin that up a little better in the lab in the future. But for now, we'll just we'll go with what we're going with. So, all right, give me a second. I'll be back. All right. Is this working? Is this spinning? Come back and it looks like it's on the same page. Let's see if that's actually going anywhere. Should be rotating. It's supposed to be on 10 seconds. Yeah, okay, it went to Ranger. Good. You guys been keeping Ranger going? Secure CRT? Killa, I have not. I've heard of that, but I've not used it. Where did I hear about that? Somebody I knew used that. No, I've never professionally. Never, no. Nope. I take it that's some kind of connection tool. God, who do I know that's using that? Somebody mentioned that to me. Yeah. One of these days I'll play with something like that. What kind of failed usernames we got? Just the most ridiculous crap. Somebody thinks I'm running a TeamSpeak server. FTP user. WW. Just hilarious. All the BS users you might run into. You can have easy connect sessions. Nice. I do have many servers that I connect to. Nice, Killa. Are you going heavily into networking? Is that your thing? I sometimes forget who tells me they're doing networking and who tells me they're working on other stuff. Nice. Well, as long as that's something you love doing. I tell you guys, find something you like in the tech space. It doesn't have to be Linux to hang out, you know. I think Linux is the most fun for me though. But here, let me turn my camera back on. I'm back. I'm hanging out. We can stop the break, but I won't start anything serious again until the next few minutes are up. Let's see if this is gonna. I'm curious if this will find the installer right in the Rocky system. See, if that's gonna have a problem already again, then maybe, yeah. It's very possible that we need to just skip that. Now, alternatively, we could just go find what is the Rocky 8.10 repo, right? And then we can just say, what is that repo? Acknowledgements, sponsors, on any of that crap. Hold on. They're not even showing. Oh, there's Rocky 810. Okay. Well, maybe. You know what? Maybe the boot ISO is just not going to do it for us. It's just we'll download and upload, so you guys can see the process if you've never seen the process where I move stuff up to see how we're on the 810 boot ISO right here, and we're in this NFS ISO library. I'll show you guys the process to how I get new things in there, right? So I'm downloading right now into my local machine here, and my downloads folder right here. There's a system that's coming up, and it's being downloaded right now. When I'm done, I'm going to go drop it in this ISOs folder right here. This ISOs folder is on my host box, and host box is then going to share it across as an NFS ISO right out of that directory. So literally down to a Windows box, Samba over, NFS up to the system. I need to clean that out though real quick, so because I think that ISOs is pretty full. Yeah, so let's CD into ISOs. And let's find something that we don't need. So we probably don't need this one anymore. We were messing around with Alien Vault a while back. We probably, I mean, maybe we'll keep the CentOS one for fun. We don't need Alpine. Probably get rid of Kubuntu. We did play with that for a little bit a while back because people asked me to. RM-RF. We could probably get rid of Rel 8.4 because we can get that one anytime we want. And then we dropped 14%, so that's not too bad. I would say that we don't need. Hold on. We don't need the Nix OS. We'll get another one if we ever need it. That's a bit dated as well. Kali. We're for sure going to keep this Kali one forever. Because I'm pretty sure this is the one that was compiled on Windows. And it says compiled by Microsoft in the kernel header. So we're going to keep that one forever. But we could get rid of all of these ones here. Right? Actually, we get rid of all the Kali and just download a new one when we need it. So that'll be rm-rf Kali dash. Right. Yep. What was our df-h? Oh, way smaller. Yeah, way smaller in ISOs now. All right. So we're still downloading that one. It looks like it's going to take, it's going to take all night. That's 13 gigs, so it's going to take a while. Used available. Okay, we got plenty available. If we're going to drop 13 gigs in there. All right, well, we can come back to that. I'm not really super worried about whatever we're doing around here. I guess, yeah, because my thoughts on it were go and do, for today, was I was just going to build out the lab and get that testing stuff done, but I guess it doesn't really matter if we don't get it all done. There's no rush for it. It's this project that I'm doing at work that has about 3 weeks to finish. So I don't have to do it. I just like to get my stuff done so I can just veg out, right? Then I don't have to work so hard because I got all my stuff already written. Did I remove the 29? Oh, you're probably right. I did, didn't I? I also don't care. You're right. I did get rid of it. Because I said Kali everything, didn't I? Yeah, I dropped the Kali right there. You're right. I did get rid of it. It doesn't matter that much. But you're right. I got rid of it. I'm not going to cry over it. It's just, yeah. I do that stuff to test you guys sometimes, and you passed. Yeah, I should have done Kali over to 20, right? 2020, really. Anywhere in there would have been better. But yeah, that's a good catch. Yeah, because I would have been looking for that later and been like, what? I thought I didn't delete that. But no, I did. That's fine. I don't need all of those. That one was just a funny one because anytime I would pull it up to show it to people, it would in the command line it said it actually when you looked at the kernel, when you did a uname-a, it said compiled by Microsoft. And you're just like, that's funny. That's a funny thing to see in a security tool used by, people who generally tend to not want to be on Windows, I guess. For lack of a better term, all the hacker mans. I am making fun of them, yes. But all right. Let's get back to what I was doing. We could do labs. We could keep waiting for that to download. That's gonna take all night. It looks like it's going faster at times, but I would have thought 13 gigs would come down. I mean, I got pretty good down. I think I'm not quite at the 1 gig fiber. I could get on 1 gig fiber here, but I think I'm on 100 megs down, I think. So shouldn't take too long to get 13 gigs, but I guess maybe it's going slow because I'm streaming. I don't know. We could go check it out if we want, but it's not that big of a concern to us right now. What else are we doing? There was our security stuff from last night. We could keep working on that stuff. I don't know. It's Friday. We don't work so hard on a Friday. We just kind of hang out. Our labs, for people who have not been around for some of our drawings and stuff, we were drawing out what the home lab looks like. And I know people were adding more and more to it as we went, right? But we have this is the home lab here, right? The ProLUG home lab. It's got a few different physical hosts. There's 4 physical hosts. The system you come in on, and then our virtualized hosts up here, and then we're probably going to be making the hammer block range soon, where we haven't really decided what we're doing with this virtual machine or this physical machine yet here. We don't know if it's going to become part of, if it's going to be a Proxmox. We haven't decided. Oh, hold on. I didn't mean to turn that on. Although it's funny when that does turn on. I mean, I can turn it on manually like that, but apparently something I did. Did something I do turn it on all the time? I don't know. I don't know what turns that thing on all the time like that. Like this. But I also have a button that can do it. So, anyways, all right. We're not too worried about that. What we were trying to do today earlier was take Rocky 19 and put him on Rel 8, and then he was going to be Rocky 8 as the underlying OS, but we decided not to bother with him. By the way, that's an ordinal number, so Rocky 19 does not relate to his OS. They're all Rocky 9 boxes, right? They're just between 1 and 19 for their counting. Yeah, I don't know. Oh, we're going to do... Oh, and then other people had other system stuff that they were putting on here. So... Kiwi Bites, how's it going? And anybody else I missed? S Blade said, question a little off topic. What is your framework for troubleshooting processes that takes a lot of memory? Do we know what the process is, or are we trying to find the process that's taking a lot of memory? And then I guess at that point it doesn't really matter, because it's probably Java. And then you're not going to know what it's doing underneath the hood anyways. But yeah, so if I'm trying to find a box, if I'm trying to find what's going on in one of my servers, right, I might do something like this. I might go like something like this. Is he down? Did we put him on the other? He hasn't come back up. We'll go to 18. Go over here. So we go to 18, and a couple quick checks we might do is I like to do a free-m, and you can add a T if you want, and it'll just give you like a quick heads up of what's going on with the system. Today I saw a lot of Elasticsearch processes, and it was Java indeed. He lowered the heap size. Okay, you can do that. When you're looking at stuff like this, you can see what's going on kind of in the system, right? There's a quick kind of heads up. If you want to use top, there's a quick kind of heads up. If you ever go to top and then hit H, you'll see this line right here. This is the only line that I really care about in top. I don't really use top very much. But if you come back out of here and then you hit M, it'll show you by memory. So whatever the thing is that's using the most memory will be at the top here. So you can do that. However, you can also do this. Let's clear the screen up. You can also do ps-aux, and you'll see a bunch of information about the percentage of memory. And you could, right? If you're just absolutely against top, which a lot of admins and engineers are, you could do a sort on. It'll be 1, 2, 3. So it'll be the 1, 2, 3, 4. It'll be the fourth column, right? Dash N. I think it's N4. Nope. It's I might have to read the man for sort because I don't remember this. Oh, it's R, isn't it? We'll see. Hold on. R is reverse. No, we don't want that. We want just the. Nope. Nope. Where is it? Where's that? Oh, K is the key. Okay, so it's K. It's key. Sort via key. Or is it T? No, T is just the field separator, but it's by default blank. So it's just K4, yeah. And then this would sort, right, by the highest used mem. Do you see that? So if you just, so what I'm saying is you could use top if you wanted to and just find out with, if you type M here, it'll go the highest one on top. But if you're absolutely against that, you could use PSAUX and that'll give you an output with memory here. And then you could sort it on the fourth field, so 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you would get the highest one on the bottom with the K4 like that. See, so the thing that's taking up the most would be right here on this system. And then I could start digging in, right? Because once I know what the process is, then I can start going and figuring out, okay, well, how was it called? So it's PSEO, LStart, maybe CMD, and I don't know, LStart, CMD, and those are the two that we mostly need. And then maybe I grep for like prom, because I know that it's this prom tail, and I can see when it was started. I can see information about it. What I know right here, where's he at? Oh, we might need PPID. So we might need his PID and then his PPID. So that's the process ID and then the parent process ID. And then now I would see that Promtail Linux has a parent process ID of 1. All right. Oh, S-Blades, you need to see it again? All right. So I'll show you guys. So we're on a box. We want to see what's going on. First thing I would do if I suspected a memory issue, maybe I was looking over here, and I was seeing that he was high CPU and memory or something, and I wanted to go look at the actual box. I might go to him. The first two things I always do are uptime and free-m, and again, you can add a T, and it'll tell you how much memory you have, what's kind of going on with the memory. You can kind of see some quick stuff, Blades. Then, again, you could do top, and you could use M to see it sorted by the most memory-hungry thing. This is actually going to be sorted by the high mem here. But some people don't like using top, so then you use PSAUX. And for me, I would use PSAUX and then sort by the field, the fourth field, which is the memory field. And the highest value item is going to be the one at the bottom by you. So Promtail is using the most. Then I go, okay, well, that's 1004. So maybe I just PSEX. So with PS and EO, I can pick, I want to see every process and I want to see these specific optional fields of LStart, CMD, parent process, or process ID and parent process ID. So I'm going to run this against prom because I know I'll find prom. And now I see when it was started. I see that that was the command that was called. That's part of it anyways. But I see the parent process ID. And the parent process ID 1 means that it was started by systemd. Systemd is started by the kernel. Kernel process, kernel starts at 0. And then the first process of 1 is always systemd in modern Linux. So then that means that if I do a systemctl and grep for like prom, I will probably find how we started that Promtail. And here's the Promtail service. So then if I do a systemctl status Promtail service, I will see that he is the main PID of 1004. That happens to be the one that I saw earlier. And then I could just start figuring out, like, should this thing be on? How was it started? What was its config file? I can go start kind of digging into the process, because if the process is using all of its if it's using all the memory of the box, something probably happened, right? But I can go start to figure stuff out about this. One of the ones I always love to show you guys if you're not around often is systemctl cat, and it'll show you the exact config file that I put in there. This is how I start my Promtail service right here. This is the exact way that we start it. So, then you go, okay, well, Scott did some weird thing in this config file. Something's gobbling up the memory. I got to go look at the config. I got to go look at maybe there was a specific user. We don't have a specific user for this, so it's going to be root. But some of our processes are run as a certain user. So then we can go and we can start digging into what that user process is doing. But if you keep having a problem, well, there's got to be a trade-off here. Like if it's a valid thing that's causing it, then you need to look to up the system size, memory, CPU, whatever it's hitting the max capacity of, right? But if it's not necessary, you need to figure out how to go stop it so it stops crushing your box. So you gotta like this is the kind of thing that like an admin feeds up to the engineer and the architect team and be like, hey, this system was running fine 6 months ago when there was only, on average 110 threads of this process. And by the way, we can see how many threads the process are in PS as well. But then now it averages 1,100. So it was at 100. Now it's 1,100. So that's over one order of magnitude bigger. Just tell them 10 times or 11 times or whatever, right? Don't say order of magnitude. You can say that. But to an engineer, you should be able to say that. If not, then we got problems. But anyways, the point is they're gonna realize they need to re-architect something. We need to horizontally scale for more. We need to vertically scale this box up. If it's a physical box, that's not an option, right? We got to build a new one and move over to it like a little hermit crab. Or is that whole thing busted? And why are we running everything through one physical box when it could really just be something like SQS up in the cloud or something? Sometimes you're doing stuff that was just always the way it was done, and you've never actually went back and thought about why things were busted. So I don't know. Like that's kind of the thing that I would go look at for memory, right? These are the things that I would do. The commands we just did were all those right there. So if you need any of them, and again, some of them were wrong because I forgot how to do it and I had to go look it up, right? But yeah, I would get to a box. You may have H-top. There's different types of top. A-top is I really like A-top to snapshot every 10 minutes what's happening on my systems. That has helped me greatly forensically over the years. So let me see if I can do a DNF. What provides for A-top? All right, so DNF install. Oops. A-top. By the way, anybody noticing my my keyboard? It's a lot louder, right? got this one yesterday. A little bit newer, and he's colorful. So maybe you guys like colorful keyboards. I don't know. I'm not really big on like having a camera down on my hands or anything. I don't think that would add any value to you guys, so I don't do it. A-top. This is what A-top looks like. So, and it'll sit here every 10 seconds, I think, by default. Let's watch. So it's 34 right now. 44, yeah. So it's every 10 seconds. But look at what it's grabbing and showing out of the system, because if this snaps every 10 minutes for you, it's not good to find acute things. Like if something just shoots up for a minute or two, this is probably going to miss it. And it's probably going to show a nice level all night. Everything was good. But if you've got processes that kind of run hot and you're trying to quantify like what I always tell you guys, the utilization, saturation, and errors, you're like something's hitting 100%, and when it hits 100%, everything else crushes. This is a pretty good tool for that. And what I mean by that is like, look, you're seeing CPU up here, actual percentage against the 4 CPUs on this box. Then, if the disk is going high at that time, you would see, it'll actually pop up here, the things that are being used the most. If the network was really high, it would be here. So you would see like a snapshot of what's happening on the system for that time. And you would see, oh, and this disk was jacked up. And this used to happen to me. We moved to we had an MQM box, but they were overloading it. It hadn't changed in years. And what was happening was we could watch this happen. They would send more traffic than it could handle. The back-end disk would go to 100, so we would see the disks show up here because they were going to 100. They would go yellow and then red. Then the CPU would spike out of control. The CPU could never catch up. And in my mind, it's always like, have you guys ever seen a waiter with a bunch of plates, or like a busboy with a bunch of plates, and they start to run to try to catch up, but they can't catch up and the plates fall over anyways? That's kind of what was happening in my head, was like, once that disk ever hit 100% I/O, it was I/O to the disk, the CPU would start to spin up and the box would never catch up. Even if we got the load back down, even if nothing was happening, the box was like still panicking. and then you would have to just take the node down and bring it back up. That was the only way to clean it. So what we did to that was we added more channels of I/O to the disk, and we solved that problem. I gave more under logical volume management. We gave more disks, so it had more back channel I/O, and we would watch it go really high, but not spike, not all the way up to 100, and the issue never happened again. So that one took a while to find too. That wasn't like a one-day thing. Me and those guys went back and forth a few times, like working on that. We all had different things we suspected, but you have to, interrogate your systems. You have to exonerate what's good and what's not. Those kind of things. Like we knew it wasn't the network. The network's fine. Network's chilling. Network was at 0 the whole time. But we would see the disk go high, then the system couldn't handle it, so the CPU would spike, and then it would just crash. Oh, and you would see a high number of threads, right? Like you would see a huge number of threads as the system couldn't write out to disk, and then it would just never catch up. Wasn't quite like a kernel panic, wasn't quite like a zombie situation, because the system would still, like, it would attempt to accept more connections, but it wasn't doing anything anymore. And that was part of the rub, was it was killing valid connections. It was in a dev environment, thankfully, but yeah, you still don't want that stuff happening against a real system. So anyways, I don't know, that's one. I don't get into those too much, but that has proven to be a good troubleshooting tool. And then I know some of you guys have mentioned HTOP before. Let's see what HTOP looks like. I don't think I've put it on these nodes before and looked at it. HTOP looks good. It shows you the memory and the CPU and this. Does it have, it does have an I/O slot. Is that I? So that's, let's see, how do we get to I/O? Is there like an H tab to switch to the next screen? All right. All right. Oh, so there is an I/O. So this would actually be good too. So we can tab between main and I/O here, and then we can go look at how disk read writes are happening off of these. That's actually pretty cool. I like that, but it's also got some good information. Look, guys, whatever tools you use for visibility, I'm not gonna like tell you guys any one's better than another. This one's actually pretty good. I hadn't seen this one, or I hadn't used HTOP before, but that's pretty cool. I only look at some of the stuff when I'm kind of talking with you guys, but yeah, look at that. You can see what's actually doing the stuff. Another reason I tell you guys to, or what I would do, the reason I would look in systems like this and get used to systems is just to get a feel for how your nodes are running, right? When you're first in an environment, you want to go see what's using memory on your boxes. You want to see how high your servers are to, their disk I/O limits and their memory and their utilization of like weight on a CPU. Because if you know those things, then it's easier to look for things that come off. How can I really understand how disk I/O works, read and write? Well, disk I/O is your channel. So S-Blades, you have different types of media inside of your machines. Media is the plural of medium, right? So it's a disk that you write to, or it's a spinning disk back in the day, right? And those are still called they're still your SD devices, right? Your SATA disks. Then you have your SSDs, which tend to be just magnetic, right? And then what's that other one that everybody's using now too? It's like the really fast RAM that's just in there as like a little chip. What's that other one? Anyway, so the point is, S-Blades, there's only so much I/O that's input, or so in bits going out or in bits coming back in. So you've got, disk read and disk write, as they say, and that I/O being high or low is going to be relative to the type of media, right? And what I would do is I always tell you guys, do your speed tests, because it doesn't matter. Like if somebody comes to your chief information security officer and says, hey, I've got these, or your CIO, your chief information officer in the company, and he sells you guys on a bunch of super fast back end disks and this and this and this, and your company buys it all up, but then your Linux boxes don't get that write speed from the OS. It doesn't really matter what the theoretical limit is. I tell you guys this all the time. one test is worth 1,000 expert opinions. I could sit here and do all kinds of math and show you guys that we will get this kind of back channel with 100 disks in a RAID environment, but that's irrelevant if every time you do a test it's 1/5 as fast as I say. And I'm like, the numbers are here. The numbers are here. That's good. But then you've got to go in and explain why we're not hitting the throughputs and we're not hitting our service level agreements and stuff, even though somebody else assured us. So that's why I constantly tell, you guys that have been around for the group and stuff, check your tests, check your stuff. Yeah, Kiwi Bytes, hopefully it's useful to you. If you guys, for people that do look at the book, it kind of is just this. The book is, for people who care or want to check it out, you guys don't have to. I tell you guys all the time, you can do all this stuff without the book, but the book just gives you a little more, I think, color commentary to everything. It's a little bright, I know. The book is all of the Linux labs that we have, and then it's a little more explanation, and then it's also all of the Ansible labs, and then some more explanation. So you could just do the labs, and I think you would get a good amount of, I think you'd get a bit of hands-on in the labs. But if you do the book, you have like a little more of like a journal to add to it, to understand. There's stuff to go read about and, dig into more about each of these different topics. Because I tell you guys, some of the stuff in here, especially like this reporting stuff, this stuff has paid itself hundreds of times over in my career for like the value that I've gotten out of people just going, oh man, Scott really knows this stuff. And I'm like, I just do really stupid, simple stuff, and it just prints out to Teams every morning or whatever. But like how you automate a report of like how your servers are doing, and some of these configurations, they're like super simple. You just have to go and build them, right? You just have to go play with them. So I've huge dividends in my career doing that stuff. Oh, Ranger's on the move, guys. I don't know where Ranger is, but he's not on his beds. All right, yeah, that's kind of cool. I like that that tool. It looks H-top, A-top, B-top. B-top was the one. Hold on, where's this at? In our llama box. In our llama box, we've got B-top running. Oh, that's hard to. B-top-T. I think that one looks a little better. But this is the one where when you guys ask questions of the bot, it'll tell you, you'll see it like chewing through. You'll see it chewing through everything. Yeah, Kiwi, Ansible's pretty cool. I think Ansible is probably one of the most critical things for somebody that is, let's say you're already doing Linux work and you feel pretty good about your command line, but you're like, Scott, I need to take that little bump up to get into like being an engineer and building stuff. I would tell you like Ansible, probably your number one thing. After that, I would probably tell you start learning your Terraform, because I think Terraform's pretty good, and then also like Packer. I think maybe those three tools, but Ansible's the king. Ansible's the one that you're gonna find the most of that kind of stuff. So it's so simple, especially when you guys start getting into it and realize like, oh, that's why there's a cult of Ansible. Like I literally can do any of that stuff super easy. I don't even have to think about it. So that's a pretty cool little tool. It's actually fun. Like if I ask this thing a question, like if I ask this thing one of the, let's watch this here. Let's go. Right. From this box, we were asking, stuff like this. Let me throw this here, and then I'll go. Let's add it. Let's not ask it a question like that. Let's ask it like a coding question. What are the differences in between the Linux kernel 4 and 5? So what are the differences between the Linux kernel 4 and 5? Oh, oops. What's going on there? Hold on. Oh, is that? Wait, hold on. Did that copy wrong? Hold on. 192.168.11.182. Oh, whoa, whoa, hold on, hold on. So this guy, hold on. He's running, and then where is the? He should be running correctly, and in that correctly, I mean he's listening for he's listening to Olama for everybody, and then he should have that system that should already be running on him. Where is it? When I first set it up, we'll run the encoder. We'll run the bigger one. Let's run the bigger one. That's fine. This one will be a little bigger. I'm gonna hit Control D. Now I'm gonna come back over here, and we got to send that to 3B. Huh? Encoder 253B. Hmm. Freebie is definitely there. I don't have anything stopping that from working. Hold on. Encoder. B. Oh, that should all work. No route to. Oh, why wouldn't we have a? That's weird. Now, if I come back over here and I watch BTOP while that's going, we'll see the system like chewing up that question. So it's like it's look at it spinning up all big and heavy. 94% CPU. We're real high because it's not a GPU box. It's all CPU, and it's trying to answer what is the difference between the kernel version 4 and kernel version 5, right? Infra admin org name something something running Prometheus on a controller node. What's happening here? Sorry. Infra admin. Is that from my Ansible? Yeah. Hold on. I'll show you. If you pulled that from the Ansible, I'll show you. Let me finish this real quick, and then I'll show you what's happening there. Yeah. Wait one. There is a thing that has to be added in your Prometheus for that to work. So give me 1 second here. This is taking a long time. This is really chewing. That box is red, guys. That box is just, and he's got 32 cores to use. If we were to look at him physically, this is what's happening to that poor server. Hold on, where's he at? Is this Llama? No, Llama is this guy. Yeah, he's just got Llama running on him. Oh, I didn't know he had all those other things running on him. Look at that. That's him spiking out right there. That's a Llama box spiking, and here's this actual box spiking as well. And interestingly enough, all those other things are on there. I didn't think. I guess I do have other things on there, but let's go to his performance. Watch, this guy spiking out too. So that's kind of fun. Now he's done. The question's been answered. Come back over here. And it says, here are some of the key differences between... So it took 1 minute and 28 seconds. This is one of the reasons I didn't use this bigger one. Lord processor really would like a data center tour or anything like that. Are you saying like my data center, looking around to my data center? I mean, I could show you guys around it if you wanted. Hold on, enhanced memory protection. So this just gave us a write out of the... And somebody gave us, what was that? What was that? There was a nice, there was a nice JQ. Was it? It wasn't P, was it? It wasn't like pretty. Somebody gave us a nice little. Was it -R? Yeah, I thought it was. That sounds right. That does sound right. -R. Yeah, raw. Let's try that. So we're gonna ask the same thing with a -R, and I think this will come out a little prettier. But by the way, we'll watch it spin up red. I will answer that question like this. So the question was, you know, I've got this book, or I've got not this book, but I've got this Ansible code. And the Ansible code is up in our Discord, and we were looking at it earlier, and it was this block right here. And I was asked, what is this block doing? So let's go look at it real quick in the systems world to see kind of what it's doing real quick. So we'll move this over here. We'll move this over here. That's fine. You'll see enough of it. And I'm going to go back over here. We'll just make a new one. And on this one, we're going to SSH to Prometheus. And then we're going to CD into etc Prometheus. And we're going to look at what's happening inside of that file real quick. In here, each time we run this and go and deploy Node Exporter against machines, we come to this machine, which is called Prometheus, and this is going to build a file each time it runs. The file this is going to build looks like this. That's it. It's all this in one line, right? Look, labels, job, node, team, infra, targets, host. Oh, this is one I made manually. This will be one right here. This is the file. So that's it. Look, labels, job, node, team, XCP, target. Yeah, this wasn't one that I made like this. Anyways, the point is that's what it's going to generate is a file like that. I for sure did this one like it. Hold on. That one should be it must be. That doesn't make any sense. Anyways, the point is that's what it comes out as. Why this is the other order? Maybe I used one before I changed it around. I'm not sure, but the point is you could do this or you could do a Jinja template, but sometimes copy is kind of nice to use like this. So it generates that. But here's the thing: if you do all that and then you're like, well, that's cool, but my Prometheus isn't using it. You're right. Prometheus has a different setup. My Prometheus was already set up when I wrote that. And it's right here. Right here at the bottom, it says, if you're going to ProLUG scrape, lab scrape, anything in the same directory as me .json gets slurped up to read in my Prometheus. So all of these .json files, I could have also put them down in another directory, which I probably should have, but it was a small enough lab I didn't do that. Professionally, I put them down in a thing called like nodes or cluster, and then I put them all in there. And I just changed this down another directory, right there. But anyways, that's what's happening is it's generating these files. You need to have that little scrape. It's a file service discovery config, and then your Prometheus will automatically go pick those up. When you change this inside Prometheus, you do need to restart Prometheus. When you just add them, you do not need to restart Prometheus because Prometheus will automatically pick them up. Because it's always scraping this directory, basically, for anything .json. Infra admin. Yeah, it's just this at the bottom down here. It's this little box right here. You would just add. That stuff up there, all this stuff up here, this was already here. Everything else in here is pretty vanilla. I did change my logging. I turned my logging on at one point. So all my API calls are always logged. And then I did change my scrape to be scrape interval to 15. I set my scrape interval to 15 seconds instead of 1 minute default. So those are the two major things that I changed in here. Once you do that, with that set, this will constantly generate If you go and you push node exporter to any machine, Prometheus will know to scrape the machine. So, but if you want it a little cleaner, again, just add right in here the Etsy Prometheus cluster and then put them all in there so they're not in this directory. Yeah. So that's the only thing I did. That's the only difference right there. Was this little guy right here. So, all right. Let's go watch. Let's go see if that finished. It did finish. Oh, where is it? So that finished, and here's the answer. So, some significant differences between Linux kernel 4 and 5: improved performance, security enhancements, support for new hardware. So this is like just what does this thing know? And that took 55 seconds. But we could ask this any question we want. In fact, I had this set up on stream for a while there where you guys could ask any question and it would just prompt out and it would read it to us. It would read the question, it would read the answer. People weren't really using it much, so I turned it off. I think it was costing like 10 cents a stream or something to do the poly. It was like a rounding error. It didn't really matter too much. What would be a good prompt, or what would be a good question for this tool that we wanted to mess with? Maybe we say something like, what are the general... Oh, somebody asked this one. This was a pretty good one. It said, explain like you're a senior system engineer. How do you administer Linux systems? Right, somebody asked this the other day, and I thought this, whoops. Oh, we don't want, hold on. Like your... If we're going to do that, we'd have to do an escape character. Nope. Let's just take any of that stuff out. We'll just take that out. I'm not even going to bother with that. Right? So explain how you administer whatever, and then we could be for fun over here watching it chew it up. And that was kind of one of the things. Did you try Invoke AI for GUI on top of Olama? It can be Dockerized if you want to. I did not try Invoke AI, no Gremlin. I only messed around with this a little bit because I thought it would be something that people would find, kind of interesting. And then, like, really, I think if people do find stuff interesting, then I kind of keep doing it. If not, I'm like, maybe people aren't super interested. By the way, this is interesting. As this is running, there's a tremendous amount of upload. So this is this QQuen, it's 2.5 or whatever, and it's made out of China. And I just think it's kind of interesting that when it runs, it pushes out a tremendous amount of data from my system. So one of our next little projects might be to run this and then do like a ngrep and see what the hell is this thing connecting to, right? We can do an ngrep for anything that's not in my network and just see where things are sending from this box out of the network. But also use TCP dump if we want as well. So I don't know, we can. There's a lot of stuff we can play with as systems engineers and systems administrators. This is what the lab's all about, right? And some of this stuff is kind of cool, little visualization stuff too. So, sometimes you like looking at stuff like this, sometimes not. It should all be local. I hope it would be all local host. But I guess we would see. But it is interesting to me how much is going out while it's running. Let's see, is it done yet? Nope, still running. By the way, we'll see it like it's almost like a big cargo ship leaving a lock or something. I didn't say dock, I said lock. It should all be local host. Yeah, it might be. We could go validate that, right? We can go ngrep and see where things are connecting and stuff. So we got a lot of options. Guys, we got a lot of stuff we can mess with, right? Oh, it looks like it's finishing because all the CPU, look, they're all finishing, all the CPUs. Let me go back over here. And it took 2 minutes to get that answer, but let's see what it says. It says server configuration, installation, security, monitoring and logging, backup and recovery, optimization, sure. Configuration management, make sure things aren't changing, troubleshooting, training, and documentation. I think those are all skills that should be there. Those are eight pretty good little things coming out of our little tool. Say all those things are useful, right? All those things are important to know. So all those things would be things that I would want to be familiar with if I was a Linux systems administrator, right? So yeah, I think that's a pretty good list, anyways. So let's see. I got a text from the wife. I gotta see what she's doing. She should be coming home soon. Um, Till I can stop streaming if she wants. We don't work too hard on Friday, guys. That's why we're just kind of hanging out and playing with the labs and the different stuff that's going on. Couple things. We have in the ProLUG Discord, which you guys are all welcome to hang out in. Let me give you guys the Discord on the Twitch side. And here's the Twitch over on the YouTube side. We have study group tomorrow during the day, but if you look at that in Discord, you'll see it in your time. There's a ProLUG weekly meeting that is kind of just a standing meeting at 3 p.m. on Saturdays, so that'll be in your time if you go look at it. And then we're starting the Linux sysadmin course again. That's the 16-week course that we just did. That's starting again in March. So I'm giving you guys a little bit of time to chill out if you're going to try to do it. We had 208 people at one point. We never had more than about 90 show up, though, but we had 208 people say they were coming, and we only had about 8 or 9 people finish it. So if you want to give it a try, it's 8 to 10 hours of work probably a week if I had to guess. I didn't make it easy, but there's a lot of information in there. There's less information that you might think of, like just doing straight Linux hands-on. That's kind of stuff that we do in like the Killer Coda labs and stuff. This was a lot more. Like if you talk to anybody that passed it, and anybody, maybe we'll make a. Anyways, we'll figure it out. But the Linux sysadmin course, anybody that did it, they would probably tell you like they learned a lot of stuff about how to be a Linux sysadmin in a company. Like what are you doing, and what are the tasks going to look like, and how is the work going to come at you, and what do you need to be ready to support, and that kind of stuff. And that was kind of the goal of it. More than just getting hands on. I mean, I kind of assumed anybody that was going to sit through this course for 16 weeks was already doing some hands on. And then you're just going to have to go work on your hands on and get more stuff in there. But this was like really labs and stuff focused on showing you guys where things fit, if that kind of makes more sense, hopefully. Anyways, that's all there. Looks like I'm getting messages, so probably hop off of here soon. I do want to write more labs up, so I do plan on working on more Ansible and Linux labs, especially Linux labs here. I'm trying to do at least one new one a month, so I'm at the end of the month, so I got to do it here tonight or tomorrow to kind of keep myself on track. But if you guys need any of the lab stuff, it's up on Killer Coda, and it's also up on my GitHub. So if you guys need any of that stuff, just let me know. All right. Let's go find our little end of stream thing. Let's go find somebody to raid over to. Maybe somebody's doing something fun out there in the world that you guys can hang out with. Let's see. Who am I following that's out there doing stuff? Practical NPC is still on. We can go raid him. He's been on for a while. We'll go raid over there, see what's going on with him. I don't know most of these other people, or they're not doing tech. We'll go raid Practical NPC. So I appreciate you guys coming by. I will see some of you guys here tomorrow if you come hang out in the group. But for the rest of you guys, I will just see you later on if you come back by. Take care.